Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another beer review on Cheer to Beers. On this review, I'm bringing Scott back. He hasn't been on for a while, so it's time to drink some beer. And figured I'd open up a very special bottle that Audrey got me for my birthday last year. This is a bottle of Deschutes, the Abyss, and this bottle is actually from 2007. It's 11% ABV, 2007 reserve, aged in oak barrels. This is a stout brewed with licorice, molasses, with 33% aged in oak barrels and oak bourbon barrels. I've reviewed this beer before, fresh. I think I've had it in 2010, maybe 2012. Have you had any vintages of this one?
I've had it in the past. I can't remember which vintages I've actually had, so it's been a while.
Right, yeah. We've both had this beer, obviously, in previous years, but this is I don't think I've ever had a beer that's been aged this long, so let's go ahead and get into it. In the aroma, I'm picking up definitely the oak, the bourbon, all kinds of flavors, some roast, some chocolate, or all kinds of aromas, some roast, some chocolate. Just a pretty good mix of things. What are you getting in there, Scott?
A lot of bourbon. Not that that's a bad thing, but a lot of bourbon.
Yeah, and having a beer aged this long, I'm kind of, I was so curious to just see how it held up and if it made it better, if it made it worse, but I think so far in the aroma, this beer only got better. On our first sip of this beer, I'm getting, you can tell this beer's been aged for a little while. Some slight oxidation, just a little bit of stuff you get from aging that happens with pretty much every beer. But to me, the roastiness comes out the most in the actual flavor, as well as the oak, and then some sweetness coming through probably from some of the molasses. Some of the bourbon. I'm not getting much vanilla or anything like that, but just overall a nice roast. Just a really good blend, I guess, of flavor for an Imperial Stout. What about you, Scott?
Yeah, it's very oaky, deep roast, almost ashiness, but it's not overwhelming. The bourbon is very subdued in the flavor compared to the aroma. I was fully expecting this to just blow my palate away with bourbon, but it hasn't done that.
Yeah, I agree. The bourbon isn't, exploding, in the first sip. But I think it only said it is aged. Only 33% of it is aged in barrels. So maybe that's just the blend they go for. But I like it so far. We'll be back with our final thoughts. All right, back with our final thoughts and our rating of the Abyss from 2007. So this, to be fair, I don't know if this was aged in perfect condition the whole time that I had it and the whole time previous to that, but I feel like it's held up pretty well. Overall, to me, the aroma is better than the flavor. You get a very complex aroma with this beer. The flavor is a little more, I don't want to say one note, but not as complex. To me, it's a lot of roast, some of that oak coming through, a hint of ashiness, kind of a little bit of chocolate flavor, but not a ton. It's still a great drinking beer. What are your final thoughts on this one, Scott?
Yeah, that's pretty much an agreement there. I think the only thing I can knock it for is it's almost one-dimensional with like the oak. To me, just I'm not sure why, but I may not like it as much as you do. But
yeah, I'm kind of I don't know if I'm a fanboy for this beer, but I love almost every batch. But so I guess for our ratings, let's put the pressure on Scott and let him go first.
Yeah.
What are you going to give it out of 10?
I'll give it a 7.
All right, so he gives it a 7. That's a fair score. That's not a bad score. It's a pretty good score. I think I'm going to have to go 9 out of 10 on this one. To me, the aroma really adds a lot to the beer. The flavor it's got some good flavor. I think overall, to me, that I would probably I love that we got to try a 2007 bottle of the Abyss. It's like, cool. Yeah, it's so awesome to say that I've had that and got to review it. But overall, I think it's a beer that probably uses 1 year to 2 years of age, hits kind of the sweet spot there. But overall, still always to me a phenomenal beer, and I'll keep buying it when I can. But thanks a lot for being on this review, Scott.
Cheers.
Cheers.